Welcome to Cori's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cori? Hi friends, make sure that you subscribe and you like this video, and also press the bell because the bell will let you know when a new video comes out. If you love Heidi, Cherry and VAYA, make sure that you go to the link below and you join the Patreon group. Then you'll be part of the Cat Club and you'll get 3 exclusive stories every month for just $7 a month. I hope you enjoy the meditation. I love you. Bye. Are you ready to meditate with Cori? Lie down in your bed and get super comfortable. See if you can take a couple of deep breaths. Slow down your thoughts. Relax your body. And let go of your busy day. Coriannda had 2 friends over, Ashley and Alina. They had a special night planned together. Coriannda was super excited because Alina and Ashley were very similar to her. It was always nice to be around friends that were completely your friends. Friends where you can just be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. You can just relax and be totally natural. Ashley was into a lot of the same things as Coriannda was into. She liked spirituality, she liked witchy-poo things. Alina was exactly the same. Alina had brought over a handful of her crystals. She'd been shopping last week and got some new crystals and she was excited to show the girls. And Ashley had been making sage bundles. She'd gone for a walk with her mum and they picked loads of sage, rosemary and also lavender. And they'd made bundles. They'd wrapped string around the plants and then hung them upside down to dry. And then they could burn them and use them to clear the space. That's what you do with sage. Ashley lit the end of her new sage bundle. She started to walk around the room in Coriannda's bedroom and just let the smoke from the sage do its magic. It traveled to different corners of the room, up to the left and up to the right. It flowed and twisted and turned all around the doorway and the window, cleaning the spaces that let energy in and let energy out. When Ashley felt like the room was clean from all bad energy that was, clean from any negativity, only positive vibes were allowed in the room. Then and finally, only then, the 3 of them sat down cross-legged on the rug in the middle of Coriannda's bedroom. Coriannda had 10 different boxes in front of her. 10 different decks of cards. Oracle cards. Coriannda had one deck that was a tarot card, and it was much more complex. Tarot cards are cards that have 40 plus cards in the deck normally, and you can read different messages, you can ask questions of the cards, your past, your present, your future, and then you lay the cards out and they tell you a message, like reading your future. But today, the girls were going to do oracle decks. Oracle decks are something that are much easier for beginners. It's a deck of cards, and they're normally decorated in different ways depending on the oracle deck that you buy. And like I said, Coriannda had 9 oracle decks and then 1 tarot card deck, 10 in total. Of the 9 oracle decks, she had 1 deck that was her favourite. One of the decks was a chakra deck. That was one that you would turn a card over and it would tell you a message, specifically around different chakras, the energy centers in your body. She had 1 deck that was like a shaman deck. That was all shaman magic and shaman tradition. And it would tell you messages from a shaman perspective. Her favourite deck was a deck that just had pictures, and it didn't have a book that described what the picture meant. Coriannda loved that deck because it made you use your intuition. She shuffled her favourite deck. The deck felt like suede. It had a really smooth texture to the cards, which made it feel good when you shuffled them, like you were shuffling something silky and smooth. She shuffled her deck of cards because she wanted to put energy into the cards, and when you touch something, anything, you transfer your energy into that thing. If you were to touch a person, you can put your energy in that person. If you were to touch an orange, you can put your energy into that orange. You can specifically change your thinking to put specific energy in, like I love you energy, or be happy energy, or tell me the future energy. She was shuffling her cards or oracle deck saying, tell me the future. She was clearing her energy so her mind was wide open, ready to receive any messages that were to come from her deck of cards. Her deck of cards, she believed, was connected to her higher self. Her higher self is kind of like another way of saying her soul self. That higher, wiser aspect of ourselves that we all have. Sometimes, when Coriannda reads her oracle cards, she clearly feels as if there's someone out there helping her, protecting her, guiding her through the cards. She closed her eyes and felt more energy transferred into her oracle deck. Tell me the future. I'm open to the future. Tell me the future. And at the same time as she shuffled her cards, she saw the cards being cleaned. What she was doing was clearing out any stagnant old energy from the cards, so that the cards were tuned into her energy right then in that moment. New energy, clean cards, ready to receive the information. She shuffled and shuffled and shuffled until intuitively she felt like the cards were clean and ready to give her a message. She decided that she was going to do 1 card for herself, and that was it. A message for what she needed to know now, in this moment. She made that statement. Give me a card that tells me what I need to know now in this moment. Coriannda turned over 1 card. The card was a tree, rooted deep into the ground. She looked at the tree and thought about its roots, how deep the roots were digging down into the earth, and the tree made her feel like she needed to be in nature. Her intuition told her that what she needed right now was to be grounded, to feel stable and strong from being outside in nature. She got the message clearly and very happily. She passed the cards on to Ashley next. Ashley shuffled the cards. She cleared Corianda's energy from the cards and put her own energy into the cards. Because remember, you can transfer your energy through your hands into an object. Ashley shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And then she turned over a card that said home, and it had a picture of a house on it. Ashley stared at the house, rubbed her fingers over the card as if she was receiving the message. For Ashley, this meant she needed to spend time at home. She needed to appreciate family. She needed to be with her mom and her dad. Home was the perfect place for Ashley to be. That's what she got from her card. To appreciate and enjoy being at home. Ashley put her card back in the deck and passed the deck to Alina. Alina put the deck down on the rug and tapped on it 3 times, like she was knocking on a front door or something. She banged 3 clear taps. Alina was cleaning the cards like that. You can do that. If you have an oracle deck, you can shuffle the cards and clean them that way. Or you can put the cards down on the surface of a table or on the ground and bang on them 3 times. This is like, to card readers, a way to clean the cards, to change the energy of the cards. A very simple way of doing it. Then Alina picked up the cards and shuffled them. She closed her eyes and took deep breaths as she shuffled for a few minutes, transferring her energy into the cards so that she could get a clear message just for her. She shuffled and shuffled and shuffled until eventually she turned over the card and it had a flying eagle on the card. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath and thought about what eagles flying in the sky meant to her. These were the cards that you used your intuition with, remember? What does it mean to you? She always thinks that eagles are very wise, like old souls that see everything from the sky. They have a higher perspective. A higher perspective means that they can see all of the details about everything down below. They don't just see what's in front of them. They see from above, meaning that they get all the information. They see all the facts. They understand more because they can see it from a higher perspective. She thought about what was going on in her life right now and what she needed to see from a higher perspective. All that week she'd been fighting with her brother. It'd been annoying her so much. He kept coming in her bedroom and taking things from her bedroom without asking. That drove her crazy. She thought about how she could see that situation from a higher perspective. The higher perspective allowed her to see her brother's side of the story. Why was he doing that? Why was he coming in her room? Why was he taking things without asking? She thought about how she normally reacts when her brother asks to borrow something of hers. She always normally says no. Instinctively, nope. But nope. But what if? Nope. In that moment, she realized that's probably why he takes things without asking. Even though that's not good. Her poor brother never even gets a chance to share any of her things. She never lets him. Seeing it from that eagle's perspective, she decided that maybe she should let her brother loan things from her now and again. It wouldn't hurt to be that nice sister to share things sometimes. She felt like she got her message from the oracle card, and she put the card back in the deck and put it in the middle of them. And then they all chatted about what their cards meant for each of them, and what they were going to do because of their cards and their messages for the day. Ashley lit her sage. She held the deck and just allowed the smoke to swirl and twirl around the deck of cards, cleaning the cards and the energy in the cards, so that the next time that they used the oracle deck, it was all clean, ready to be used, ready to receive a message from their guides, their higher self, their soul. Once Ashley felt like the cards were clean, she put them back in the deck, back in the box, and then back on the pile with all the other oracle deck cards and the tarot cards that Coriannda had put in the middle of them. And then they all picked one of the new crystals. They laid down on the ground and put the crystal in the middle of their forehead, right over their third eyes. They closed their eyes and laid there as if they were in Savasana, dead man's pose, meditating deeply with the energy of the crystals. Right there on the third eye chakra, opening up the portal so that they could journey into another world and another realm, deep inside of their minds. Oh, how much fun it is to be a witch, Coriannda said out loud, and then giggled and hackled as if she was really a witch. Ashley and Alina both laughed at the same time. And then they went back into their meditation to connect deeply and journey beyond this realm into another world. The end.